Hello, in this tutorial we are going to learn about how to create your own a news app in Thunkable. So let's get started. So before we enter the video, make sure you click on the red subscribe button and the bell icon. So let's click this create new app button and name our project as news app. Then you need to enter the category of your app. So I'm going to type as books and education. So then I'm going to create this project. So it's on the process. So the project is opening up. So this is the mobile emulator. So here what I'm going to do means I'm going to drag and drop an image component here. So for displaying our apps icon. So for displaying your apps icon, you can create your own logo or you can get it from the Google. So let I can search for a news icon. There are so many news icons that you can take. So it is one of the news icon. So I'm going to copy this image address and go to the thunkable and paste it. Then I'm going to set this radius as 50 pixels for this image or 100 pixels. Yes. So then what I want to do next means, so this is the flash screen. So I'm going to name this screen's title as screen flash. So then what I want to do next means, so next screen is a register screen. Screen underscore register. So then what I'm going to do next means, so here we are going to create a account for the user. So for that, this background image of this app will be changed. For that, I'm going to get some background images from the Google. Background color. So there are so many colors that you can pick. So let I can copy this image address and paste it in our thunkable. I'm going to copy it again, copy image address and paste it in the background color, background image. So then so here what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag and drop one column here. So into this column, so I'm going to set this column's background color as a white color. So I'm going to set the height of this column one as absolute size and 350 pixels, and I'm going to set this width of this column 1 is going to be absolute size 250 pixels, and I'm going to set this column 1's radius as 50 pixels. So this is the nice UI. So then I'm going to create one a label here for displaying the app's name inside this column 1. So this app's name is going to be news app, right? So I'm going to type as news app. So you need to type whatever apps that you're creating. So then what I'm going to do next means I'm going to set this font size as 25. So then I'm going to drag and drop one text input here. So this text input is going to be the username. Then I'm going to duplicate it. So then email address, and I'm going to duplicate it again. So it's phone number. So it may be phone number or you can give as anything like phone number itself. Okay, let's add phone number. So then what I want to do is I want to drag and drop one button after this text input 3. So this button, what I'm going to do means, so let's search as register or log on, or let's have the text as proceed with account. So then let's go to the width, as we'll set as the width as absolute size 200 pixels, and I'm going to set this column once vertical alignment is going to be space around. So then I'm going to create another one screen here, so which is going to be, so this is going to display the categories of the news, so or else it can be display any news that the user want. So let's have this as explore. So this explore screen, or let's as news. So then I'm going to create another one screen, which is going to be count. This is going to be account screen. So then that's all for this one, news and account screen. So in the new screen, what we're going to do means, so here we are going to before this new screen, I'm going to add one bottom tab navigator. So search for a bottom tab navigator and drag and drop before this new screen. So automatically four screens will be generated here: home screen, about screen, contact screen. So let's delete every one of the screen here. So then, so now we're going to set this new screen and the account screen inside this bottom tab navigator. So now we set the new screen and the account screen inside the bottom tab navigator one. So now inside this new screen, what I'm going to do means I'm going to drop one row here. So this row is going to be have the our app's logo and the name. So let's drag and drop one image here. So from the image name section, so this is going to have our image icon, apps icon. So let's copy this one. So copy it and paste in the new screen too. Then set this height as 50 and width as 50. So now set the radius as 100. So then I'm going to drag and drop one label. This label is going to have our app's name, news app. So you can give whatever the app name that you're going to give for your app. So then this app's name size is going to be 20 pixels. Okay. So then I'm going to set this row one's horizontal alignment is going to be left side, and I'm going to set this height as fit content. So after this row one, I'm going to drag and drop one a data viewer list. So note it is data viewer list. So the row one is going to be before this data viewer list. Okay. So this data viewer list, so list item layout is going to be looks like this one. Okay. So then what I'm going to do next means, so here it's going to be the news image and news title, subtitle, and this one a description. So whenever user was clicking this one, so automatically this will navigate to the website. So now we are going to have one icon, I mean one button after this one, after this data viewer list. So this button is going, text is going to be empty and background color as empty. So then background picture alone we are going to keep as some add icon. Add icon. So there are so many add icons that you can get it here, right? So I can get anything like this one. Yes, I think so this will be good. So let's copy this image address and go to the thunkable and paste the background of this button 2's background picture. Yes, and now this height of this button is going to be absolute size 50 pixels, and width also going to be 50 pixels. Now what I'm going to do next means, so that's all for this button too. Let's start designing for the account screen part. So here what I'm going to do means, let's have normally three labels here. So one is for the user's name. Here let's have one a row here. So inside this row 2 I'm going to have this label name. So it is going to be font size as 20 or 25 pixels. So then I'm going to duplicate this label 3 again, so it's going to be label 4. So let's name as label. Name is the label name, and here username is going to be the text. So then what I'm going to do next means, so let's have this row 2's height is going to be fit content, and I'm going to duplicate this again. So next row 3's, and instead of name we are going to have the email. So here it's going to be, so let's have example, example at email.com. Example at mail.com. It's just for our reference. And what I'm going to do next means, I'm going to duplicate this label again. So this label 3, sorry, row 3 again. So here this, instead of this email we are going to have one a phone number. So it's phone number, right? So here I'm going to type some numbers here, like, so now what we're going to do is, so this every labels username label is going to be font size as 20, and email also 20, and a number also 20. So now every rows is perfectly fine now. So now what I'm going to do next means, I'm going to have one a button here, button inside after this row 3. So after this row 4 I'm going to have one button here for delete the account. So let's keep this button 3 after this row 4. So this button is going to be have a text of delete account, like that. So let's have the background color as red color. So then I'm going to set the width of this button is going to be absolute size and 200 pixels. So then I'm going to set this screen accounts vertical alignment is going to be space around. Okay, so that's all for this designing part of the account screen. So let's create another one screen, which is going to have whenever user was clicking the add icon in the news page, so that time we are going to navigate to this screen, so which is the screen create. Okay, so in this inside the screen create, what we are going to do here means, so here we are going to add some images of that one. So let's add one image. Also it's going to be the add icon, so that we have shown here, right? So let's copy this image address, let's copy it and paste it for the create screen too. And now what I'm going to do means, so let's have one text input. Okay, so this text input, what it is going to give means, so here we're going to give the title of the news title, and for in the news section we have a image, title, subtitle, description, which means image is going to be that we are going to add here, right? So then title, so that we are giving here, right? So then subtitle is going to be normally stored in the username, and description we are going to add now. So uh, for adding the description, let's duplicate this title text input again, and it's going to be the description hint description. And I'm going to set the height as absolute size 200 pixels, And what I want to do here means, so here we are going to the, first of all, select this description text input and go to the advanced section. So here you can go to the styling. So not styling, outside of the styling we'll be having the property, so number of line, so it's going to be give as 1. So here what you can do means, let's live test the screen alone. So here you can write something, so it's not allowing you to create a new line. For that, number of line is going to be 2. So if we are having live testing it, then we cannot create another one line here. So let's keep as 2000. Let's see what will happen. Let's keep a 5 line. Now it's like working, right? So file line we can keep it. So we need some space for between this title and description. So before that, we are going to add one button. So after this text input 5, so which is going to be publish. So go to the simple for this one and publish. So actually, after this description we need to have another one text input. So let's duplicate this title again. Let's have as a site URL, website URL. Let's keep as web page URL. Okay. So here user is going to enter the web pages URL. So now what I want to do means, this publish buttons width is going to be absolute size 200 pixels, 200 pixels. And I want to set the screen vertical alignment is going to be space around. So now it's looking good, right? So now what I'm going to do next means, so let's create another one screen, which is going to be screen underscore publishing. So publishing means, so here just we are going to have one loading icon, that's all. Also it's going to be in the black color. Okay. That's all for the designing part. So let's start with blocks part. So before entering the blocks part, so let's add some components to our app. So invisible components and visible components. So first of all, we are going to add the something like a file picker. So then after the file picker we are having this media db component. Yes. After this media db component, we need something. First of all, we are linking this google sheets and the app. So then we are creating this file db here and file picker here, I think. And the current moment, we require this only. And let's enter the blocks part now. So before we enter the blocks part, we need to create a database and link it with our application. For that, what we are going to do means, so let's go to the docs.google.com/spreadsheets and make sure you log in with the same account that you are logging with the thunkable too. So now I'm in the google sheets. So let's create a blank sheet here. So here it's going to be the title of the screen, I mean the title of the news, then subtitle, which means the username, subtitle. Then we are having the description, so description part. So then we are having the url part. Then we are having the, after the url we are having the img part, which means image. So first of all, for a basic news, so we need this uh, title, subtitle, description, image. So title, subtitle, description, url and image. Okay, so all right, perfectly. Let's get started with the blogspot. So before the entering the blogspot, we need to link this google sheets and the app. So for that, what we required means, let's add this new data source. So let's create a new thing with the google sheets and select the sheet. And you can see our project here. So untitled spreadsheet. So let I can rename it as news app, news app hyphen data. So let's go to the thunkable and let's open it again. Select a sheet. Yes, news app data, and select it, and let's create it. And now we successfully linked the thunkable and the Google Sheets. And our remaining part is that we are going to link this picture is as img image, and title as title name colon, and subtitle as subtitle name colon, and description as description name colon. So then what we're going to do means, so whenever you saw us left swipe, that time we are going to have one text. Okay, it's going to be share, so they can share the news. For that, what we require means, we need a share name component. So share name component. Okay, that's all for this one. So let's start with our blocks part now. So let's go to the blocks part. So it's reloading the thunkable. Yes, so this is a flash screen. So here we are going to have some variables, stored variables here. So which is going to be user underscore name. Then after the username we are having the email address, right? So for email, simply email. After the email we are having the phone number. So then after this three stored variables, now we are going to create the programs, which means, so whenever this flash screen was opens, that time we are going to check that if with the help of if else condition. So if is equal to null, so which is equal to null means this username, or like, let's keep as the username, the stored variable username was is equal to null, which means user did not log in. That time we are going to say the user to register this the account. So by wait before the navigating to the screen, so anyway we are going to wait some seconds. So wait at least for 3 seconds, so then navigate to the screen. So else, so the stored variable is not is equal to null, already filled with some data. So then we are going to wait for 3 seconds, and we are going to navigate the screen to screen news. Okay, so then what I want to do next means, so here that's all for this screen flash. So let's go to the screen register. So whenever you was clicking this button, so button 1, so that time we are going to set this stored variable username as this first text input username, username text input 1, text input through text input 3. So in the text input 1 username. Okay, so text input 1 is a username, so text inputs once text. So then we are going to set this stored variable email address as text input to text, and we are having the phone number, a phone as text input 3 text. So after storing everything in the stored variable, now we are going to navigate the screen to screen flash. So then it will now automatically navigate the screen to screen flash, I mean the screen news. So screen flash. So now what I want to do means, so let's go to the screen news. So whenever the screen was opens, that time automatically everything will be reloaded. So whenever this screen was open, new screen was opens, that time every data from the data viewer list one will be refreshed automatically. So whenever a user was clicked anything in the item, from the item, so that time what we're going to do means, that time we are going to navigate the, we're going to open with the one link. Okay, so whenever user was clicking the any item at that time from the data source, so from the get the value from the news app data sheet 1, so now from the url get the row id. Okay, so now we're going to navigate to this. So whenever user was left swipe, so left swipe, so that time we are going to navigate the, I mean we are going to share the data with someone. So let's share message. Okay, share message means they can share with WhatsApp, Telegram, or anything that we require. So let's use this join name component. So first one is going to be the title. So first one is going to be the title. So title URL, and let's have one new line. So let's have this component from this one. So new line name block. So after displaying the title, and in the new line we are going to display, visit the website for more information. Okay, visit the website for more information. Okay, this symbol and space, and in a new line. Okay, after this I'm going to create another one item here. So another one item again here. So here again in a new line, so we are going to display the so the website's URL. So for that, from this sheet ones URLs, the row ID. Okay, so that's all for this one. So then whenever user was clicking this this button 2, so that time we are going to navigate the screen to screen create. Whenever user was clicking this button 2, navigate the screen to screen create. Okay, so in let's go to the account screen. Whenever user was clicking this opens this account screen, automatically this first label, so username label is label name 1, label name 2. So from the for the label name 1, I mean for the label name, we are going to set the text as the stored variable username, and next label name 1 is going to be the email address, and finally we are having the label name 2. Okay, it's going to be the phone number. So then whenever user was clicking this button delete account is going to be the button 3. So which means whenever user was clicking this button 3, so that time automatically we are going to navigate this, I mean we are going to delete this every data. So set this stored variable username as null, and like this every stored variable keep as null. So even email address as null, and we need to keep this phone number to be null. So then navigate the screen to screen flash, then automatically it will navigate the screen to screen register. So now so for the screen news, we need to add another one thing in the designing part, which means so for select this screen one, select this screen news. So let's go to this bottom of this tools. So in the active tab icon there is no any URLs. So for that what we require means, so go and search for news again. So don't use the same icon that you used for your app, so it will be confusing. So then let's have this icon, copy image address, or let's have this one. Let's copy this image address and go to the thunkable and paste it in the active tab icon. Then go to the account screen and again search for a account icon. Here you can get so many images, so copy this image address and go to the thunkable and paste in the active tab icon of the account screen. So let's go to the, so that's all for this news and account screens blocks part. So let's go to the screen create, and whenever user was clicking this image 3. Okay, whenever user was clicking this image 3, that time we are going to navigate the screen to screen. So that means whenever you're clicking image 3, we are going to get a file. So which type of file means not any type of file, it's only the image type. So that time we are going to display it in the image 3 itself. So that file is going to display it in the image 3 itself, and also we are going to display, we are going to store in the variable named img publish. Okay, so it's going to be the null for the moment. So then we are having the title to be published, title to be published, and subtitle we don't require, and description to be published, description to be published. Okay. So now what we want to do means also URL to be published is going to be there. URL to be published. Okay. Then what I'm going to do next means after displaying it, so whenever we so was clicking this button 4, which means publish button, so that time we need to store everything in this variables, right? So which means also this app variable image to be published is going to be this file. Okay. So then we are going to use this again here, which means this title to be published is going to be this first text input 4. Okay, it's 4465 is the order. So then 4, so then URL is going to be the 6, so then description, so description to be published is the fifth text input, so it's text fifth text input. So this is the order after setting it. So now we are going to navigate the screen to screen publishing. So now let's go to the screen publishing. So whenever this screen was opens, that time we are going to convert upload image, which image means this image to be published image is going to be converted as a media URL. So then we are going to create a new row in the Google Sheets, which means the database. So title is going to be the app variable that we stored, right? So title is going to be this title to be published, and subtitle is nothing but the uh, stored variable. Okay, stored variable username. So stored variable username. So then description part is going to be description to be published, and URL part is going to be URL to be published, and image part is going to be image to be published. So the title is going to be title to be published, subtitle is going to be stored variable user to be published, and description value is going to be description to be published, and URL value is going to be URL to be published, and IMG's value is going to be IMG published. So whenever you was opening this, upload this image to this URL and converting as a URL, and we are going to store in our database. So that's all for this application. Also we are going to navigate the screen to screen news again. Okay, screen news. So that's all for this application. So let's test our app now.